My 4 roommates kicked me out of our apartment for refusing to quit my job and live a little, and the ringleader told me, to my face, that I had the ambition of a houseplant and half the personality. 6 weeks later, all 4 were texting me for money, a lawyer, and a place to sleep. We were seniors sharing a house near campus, and I was the one with the 6 a.m. alarms, the internship, the spreadsheet where I tracked everyone's share of rent and utilities so nobody got screwed. That last part mattered because I was also the only one who actually paid on time. One night, they sat me down at the kitchen table, an ambush, and took turns explaining how I sucked the fun out of everything, by studying, by going to bed early, by not wanting to skip rent to fund a trip to a music festival. You're 22, going on 50, said the ringleader Bryce. You act like everyone's disappointed accountant. The others laughed. Priya said I was the reason people found the house boring. Then Bryce delivered the line he thought was a mic drop. Move out by the end of the month. We're replacing you with someone who actually knows how to live. Go find some library friends to color code with. So I did the math out loud, reminded them my name was the only one on the lease and the utilities, and then I said, fine. I moved out that weekend. And I quietly did one more thing. I took my name off the lease renewal and canceled the auto payments I'd been fronting for all of them. The first month without me was a slow-motion demolition. Rent was due on the 1st, and it turned out none of them knew the landlord's name, the account number, or that the rent money they'd been Venmoing Bryce had been going toward Bryce's sneaker habit for 2 months. The landlord posted a pay or vacate notice. Bryce called an emergency house meeting and, according to Priya, spent it explaining that the system was rigged. The electricity went next because the account was in my name and I'd transferred it out. They lived by phone flashlight for 9 days because nobody could figure out how to start new service without the prior account holder. Me. Their food spoiled. Bryce tried to run a space heater off a neighbor's outdoor outlet with 3 daisy-chained extension cords and tripped the whole building's breaker, which is how the neighbors learned the house had been stealing their power. Then the internet died, and with it Priya's online final exam, which she failed, which dropped her below full-time, which canceled her student housing eligibility for the next year. Nate, who'd bragged loudest about living free, got towed 3 times because he never knew I'd been the one moving everyone's cars for street cleaning. His car went to impound and stayed there. He couldn't cover the fees. The showpiece disaster came when they threw a "we don't need him" party to prove the point. Nobody had renter's insurance. I'd carried the policy. So when a guest cracked the bathroom sink off the wall and flooded the downstairs, there was no coverage and the damage came straight out of the security deposit plus a bill. The landlord kept the deposit and sent a demand for the difference. Bryce tried to livestream himself confronting the landlord on principle. The landlord served him with the itemized damages on camera. The clip made the rounds. Bryce's mom saw it. By week 6, my phone was full. Nate wanted to know if he could sleep on my couch. Priya wanted help appealing her housing. Bryce, who'd called me a houseplant, sent a long paragraph asking if I'd look over a lease dispute because I was the only one who understands this stuff. And, oh, could I also spot him $400? Here's the part that lands. Bryce's final text wasn't an apology. It was, bro, I'm not even mad at you, but you kind of set us up to fail by leaving. I set them up to fail by no longer doing the invisible work of keeping 4 grown adults alive. I read it 3 times. I wrote back one thing. I didn't set you up to fail. I just stopped being the reason you didn't. Then I muted the group chat I'd been added back into without my permission. I'm subletting a quiet studio now. I sleep 8 hours. My rent is paid, in my name, by me, on time. Sometimes I think about that kitchen table ambush and the word houseplant, and I almost laughed. So here's my honest question for you. Is it cruel to stop rescuing people who never once thanked you for it? Or is walking away the only way some people ever learn what you were actually doing for them?